guys, metaloidmonkey here, and welcome back to another high-level Halo Wars video, and this time I'm playing on the docks with XBL Topher, and we're running Anders Arbiter, because Topher's like, yeah, I'll play Arbiter, and I'm like, I'll play Anders, fine. Like, I'll play Anders or Cutter for people, and today we're versing Cutter Brute. So this is just it's a pretty even matchup, honestly, just because of the amount of stuff that needs to be done. For either team to win. It's much easier to win from the Cutter Brute side, but the thing is, it's Anders Arbiter's game to lose, because as long as you perform this correctly, then you should win every time. So, I say it's even, but honestly, skill-capped Arbiter team usually will win pretty much every game. So, you gotta just know what to do. It's basically knowing what to do, where to be, and when. So, I'll just tell you that part, and then the rest is gonna be up to you. So, here we have our, Topher is supposed to be scouting their Brute right away and seeing, hey, when's their Brute building his temple? And the main thing is that, hey, if the Brute's building temple first, then we're just you play temple third defense. Fine, no problem. Problem solved. Easy. You can do whatever you want at the Anders, doesn't matter. You can go for reactor fourth on your main base and then just get a later Grenadier. Doesn't matter, really. You can go reactor third expo, reactor fifth main, do the Grenadier strat. Because basically what's going to happen is that your Arbiter is going to be able to push off their Brute in time for you guys to go up on offense together. So, like, their Brute will get pushed off, and then you'll both be on offense, denying depots, problem solved, game over right there, done. But you could also keep down the Brute, which is generally what you're going to want to do. You're generally, when you're versing Brute teams, is that you keep down the Brute so far that you're going to you put yourself in this 1v2 position. And that's generally what happens, either whether you go for the UNSC or the copy. So in this case, I'm just going to go reactor third on my main base here, because I want to get early gunner. I could also go for reactor second on the expo. There is pretty much no difference, but I just wasn't sure whether they wanted to try to target my expo or not. It doesn't matter, basically. I'm just delaying past my main because it makes no difference. I like. You could put it on the expo, you get a little bit extra money, maybe pay for an extra hog sooner, but the gunner's a little bit faster with the third on the main, and since I figured he was temple first or second, I don't know, I didn't remember exactly which game. We had two games. I have a game after this where they go for the other one. But basically you see their Brute showing up and he's not going to get anything done because I'm camping him, and at which point pretty sure I told Topher, this is definitely the temple second game, because I totally told Topher, hey Topher, you should just come on offense, why would you bother playing defense? But Topher's like, nah, I like defense sounds really good to me. But I mean, if you see this, like, they're not going to be able to do anything. I have his lift camp with gunner, and so you may as well be up here on offense helping me do some damage. So if they don't go hogs, then the game's over right here. Because you can see this, they're not going to do anything. Their Brute's going to get stripped, my Arbiter's not even going to get touched, even if he was going for my Arbiter's base. There's literally no way for them to push us off, because sure, he could try to D-bomb, but I mean, that's the only thing he's going to be able to do. All you got to do is just sit over on this base, and then strip the Brute, and then your Arbiter can just go double summit, or rage, depending on what point of their tank production's at. So I see, hey, look, he's getting a depot. I'll just use these two hogs here to be annoying, because he's probably getting another depot on his main base. So I'm just going to leave 3 hogs, just be annoying. Because I can deny this depot, but I can also make it so he can't really build anything out of it. I'm just not paying attention here. So I lose a hog to a Brute, that's unfortunate, whatever. But I just have a hog here, I have a few hogs on this depot up top. Obviously he's not building out of it, which means he's building the tank out of the main base. So all Topher's got to do is just catch the tank, and problem solved. Because heck, if he's single pumping tanks, then you could just have your Arbiter rage down those tanks all day. If he's double pumping tanks, then heck, maybe he'll get enough tanks out to actually push you off. But he's gonna have to wait and lock his base, because we don't want to let him just go, and we don't want to put him in the position to be able to get enough tanks to push us off early. So we would just rage them all down. Now he does get one Brute through, because I'm just kind of messing around at this point, and that's not a big deal, because I don't really care. I have these hogs. I'm just going to quickly do some ramming and then rally away. He's got his one tank, and Topher needs to go kill that tank. So one of my hogs didn't ram. That's annoying, but you know what? Not a big deal. Just easily mop the Brute up and then send everything back up on offense. Nice and easy. And I'm just gonna keep building hogs, because I mean I don't need any real tech or anything. I'm just gonna get my numbers up. Eventually, I'll get the techs I need. I'm not trying to fight tanks right now, but Topher really needs to go be finding those tanks and killing them. So there's a tank on the minimap, I believe. And, yep, there's 2 tanks, so Topher should be killing those tanks. And there really should only be 1 tank, because I guess Topher just didn't go and kill the tank before. Because if he's only single pumping from 1 depot, then it shouldn't be a problem, but now it's 2 tanks as opposed to 1. Anyways, it doesn't matter. The Brute's no pads. Is about to be no pads, and sure he may push us off here. He's gonna have to debomb if he really wants to do that. Topher, I'm pretty sure, is just smacking onto the base a bunch of times, which is always fun. And that Brute's pretty much done no damage to me, and he's realizing, oh wait, maybe I shouldn't have hit the Anders, because really it doesn't do anything, because Anders has more pads than the Arbiter, because I have him on 2 bases and the Arbiter is not. So I'm just gonna just run away essentially. That depot's still half health, so that'll be nice. The Brute, even though he has no pads, decides that he wants to bring a Brute squad through, but I mean I can just go back and kill that with any hogs. New hog pops out, send it over there, tap Y on it, easy. And I'm not leaving their side of the map. I don't want to do that just yet. I may do it in clear base, but generally if these tanks are trying to push me at this point, I want to just try to keep them back on D. So I am going to bring my stuff back because this Brute's on no pads. That's what I'm doing. Alright, so the Brute's on no pads, which means you can't really vortex me, you can't do anything about this. And it's 100 for a recall, and that could have been a pad. So basically it's a free chieftain kill. Same thing like if they had an Arbiter, free Arbiter kill basically if they have no pads. So yeah, click them to rage this stuff and then lose pretty much. That's how that happens. This is annoying. I don't know, I think I'm just getting annoyed at this point in the game, because I'm just like, oh, yeah, he's gonna push, and I'm just gonna go counter push, and he's like, nope, I'm not gonna be pushing on your base, and I'm like, okay, well, that's fine, so I'm just gonna go back and clear the expo, and you're like, oh, no, I want to counter push. He's like, I want to push again, and I'm like, no, I'm just gonna go over here, and basically he keeps going back and forth and doesn't make up his mind, and then I got my hogs trapped there. That's annoying. But at this point in the game, my hogs aren't too significant. All I'm doing is waiting for Topher to get stuff, while I just build up hog numbers and clear base and keep him on defense, because he's not gonna do anything. He's not gonna get into that 1v2 position. I could stop at Grenadier. At this point, their Brute is on no pads, and I've done this before. You can stop at Grenadier, put up a vehicle depot or an air pad, doesn't matter. Double pump Gremlins, single pump whatever else you wanted, and be just fine at this point in the game. Their Brute is not doing anything. He doesn't even have his chieftain. So basically, it's 2-on-1. So you can go for Goss, or you can go for Gremlins and tanks. It doesn't matter. You just gotta make sure that you keep some hogs alive, so that you can just force some defense. And even then, your Arbiter could do that with Banshees. So I mean, it's pretty simple. Just clear base, get your Tech 3. And now he's brought all of his tanks back. We do get that last pad there. I'm just kind of throwing away some hogs, because I'm really just waiting for Topher to get stuff up. I think we were having a discussion about whether he should have double or single summited, and I don't remember exactly what happened in this game. But I remember it being something like, yeah, you're right, I should have done this or that. I don't know what exactly it was. But anyways, I'm just clearing the base, taking the money. I'm just making, I see that he's, hey look, he's down-tagged, or at least deleted a pad here to build more tanks. So that's a thing. And I did leave that depot weak, and I could have pushed in and killed that. You could do that, but I did lose a lot of hogs earlier, so I can't really do that right now. So I'm just going to clear another base. And I'm just going to mass more hogs up, because even with Canny, I'll trade pretty well. Not the best trades, but if I have like max Canny versus max stock and add Banshees as well, I'll win that. Because we have time. As long as we push before their Brute's back in the game, then it's an easy game. So as long as I'm just not throwing away units, and that's just the main thing here. Like, my Arbiter can get full Banshees and then go for his Arbiter upgrades, or you can use his Arbiter upgrades. But the thing is that you gotta judge whether they have a D-bomb or not. If they have a D-bomb, then Banshees are gonna be your way to go until they use their D-bomb, and then work on your Arbiter more. So you don't want them to be able to drop a D-bomb and then make a decisive fight or kill one of your bases with it. So I threw a heal because I want to heal those pads so that he couldn't just walk in, kill the 2 pads, and then kill the base. So I want to go and I want to push on them, but he likes to just kill pads and then run away. But I'm just going to fight him because I'm like, I don't care. I have enough hogs here. I have 13 hogs. That's not really enough, but I have banshees to help me out, so it'll be enough with the banshees. So I'm just, sitting here building hogs, trying to afford building on my bases, and I'm just gonna kill the Wolverines, and then because I don't know if he can remake Wolverines or not at this point, because I don't know if he's down teched. I don't think he did, but I could be wrong. So I'm just gonna target the Wolverines down, and then between the 2 of our stuff, and then we should be able to kill all these tanks. Because he doesn't have enough. If he builds enough Wolverines to deal with the Banshees, he's not going to have enough tanks to deal with the Goss. And it's 2-on-1. That's literally what it comes. It is 2-on-1. That is always what you want to do when you're versing brutes with an Arbiter team. You want to create these 2-on-1 situations. Build as much as you want, try as hard as you want, but it's 2-on-1. So it's not like we threw away too much or anything to get to this 2-on-1 point. I kept building hogs. Hogs were my unit of choice. I didn't throw a Mac Blast on pads. I didn't throw a D-bomb early game. I didn't spend unnecessary money. So as long as you're in that sort of position, you're just totally fine. Now there's another game I'll show you, but not with Anders when I'm playing as Cutter, where the other team basically throws away a lot of money just to keep my Covenant down. And so they'll create this 2-on-1 situation, but by doing that, they've put themselves so far behind that they put me into this 2-on-1 position. I'm not a 2-on-1 position, I'm in this 1v2 position. And you just gotta buy time for your Covey to get back into the game. It actually evens out pretty well, and usually you'll be a bit ahead just because of that. Because when they throw away that kind of money early game, their eco is not going to be as strong in the late game, and then you could just take that into your advantage, and eventually your Covey will just get back in the game well enough to equal it out. So I'm going to take a 4th base, because why not? And we have stuff down at their brute space. The brute's starting to get stuff again, but I'm just going to be able to kill both of these depots right now, and no production from their tank, no more tank production, and I'm quad pumping hogs, well, at least triple pumping hogs. That puts us in a really great position. It looks like he's trying to get volley there, but he's not going to be able to get that. He did actually have 3 tech up, so that was not a down tech, but either way, I'm just going to kill the pads on this base. Problem solved. There's even like some situations, if you deny the depots in the early game instead of going for the brute space, which generally you want to go for the brute space because then you could camp the brutes if he's building any, which is a big plus. But if you have enough hogs, you can actually just split between the depots and then split between the depots, the brute space, and your arbiter could help you with deny the other depot because it's actually really easy to do that if you do it correctly. So and then basically what happens is eventually he's just never going to get a tank out, and you're just going to go kill his exo is eventually going to die. And so at this point in the game, it's 2-on-1. They're brutes not getting back into the game. We have too many banshees and too many hogs. It's just 2-on-1. So now I'm going to show you another game. Same situation, except that this time the brute's going to go either the other temple, whether it was 1st or 2nd. I'm pretty sure the brute went temple 2nd that game, because generally you don't bother defending a temple 2nd brute, and that's why I was like, don't forget it on offense. You should just come play offense with us, because heck, you're not going to do anything on defense. But I'm pretty sure Topher, upon seeing whatever temple he went this game, whether it was 1st or 2nd, Topher's like, defense, I want to play defense, because he loves defense and only knows how to play defense. So that's fun. Oh, and also blame Topher for me not commentating this video and uploading it for the longest time, because I'm sure you all know Topher just, he's like, Metaloid, you gotta come play Halo Wars. I don't want you commentating your videos. Like, you need to play Halo Wars. Because I need a teammate, because I can't seem to find my own teammates, and you're the only one I trust, I guess. Well, he didn't put it like that, but he definitely kept me from commentating these videos for multiple days. Not just once, multiple days. I was like, I have some time now, I could commentate the video, or I could play Halo Wars with you. And he's like, come play Halo Wars with me, I don't want you commentating videos. So, and then he complains to me about how I didn't upload a video. Okay, but anyways, so this game, their brute goes for a temple 1st. So, upon seeing the temple 1st, my natural response should be, hey, I'm not gonna go for reactor third, but I'm like, let's go reactor third. Second time's the charm, because this is the game right after the previous game. So I was like, I'll see how this works out. I'm just kind of fiddling around at this point, because Temple First Brute doesn't give us too much trouble at all. So generally what you want to do is you could camp the Brute, but you're not going to really do any camping, because all you want to do is just push their Brute off, your Arbiter will eventually push the Brute off the base, and then you'll just two of you push, and the Brute's never going to be on Banshees or anything scary, and that's going to be game. Like, it's just done right there. So, here's the thing. I'm going to be, like, down a hog because I went for this reactor third, but I didn't need to go reactor third. I was like, yeah, maybe I'll camp the Brutes and help out with that. But obviously, if he's Temple First, I just got there for a Temple Second Brute, and I was on time. But at Temple First Brute, I'm not really going to be on time. Like, I could be there. But that's too many Brutes, and he's got his hogs there, so I can't mess with that. And he's got a third hog, so he's totally going gunner at this point. Because he wouldn't I mean, I have gunner now. I do, so I can camp. But if he's going gunner as well, he'll get it a bit later, but I'm not going to really be able to camp some Brutes, and he's just going to get his gunner, and then I'm just going to be a bit SOL here. So he's delaying his 5th pad, that's nice. I may be able to camp one Brute before his gunner finishes, but not likely. So generally just go reactor 3rd on your expo, reactor 5th on your main at this point. That would have been a much better thing. Or just reactor 4th main and then get the reactor up on your Nah, you'd be better off for the quicker Grenadier, honestly, on this one. So either reactor 3rd main or reactor 4th... No, reactor 3rd expo or reactor 4th main. And then get reactor 5th main after you've built. Just delay the pad so you can get more hogs out early when you see he's going hogs. If he's not going hogs, then you can go right for the Grenadier, but otherwise you're going to want to just get more hogs. So we're just going to double team this Brute at this point. He's Temple First, he doesn't have money to really Vortex and build Brutes and build on his base. And they have hogs here, so now Topher is being clever, I think? I don't know what Topher's doing. I remember we had some sort of disagreement at this point. I was like, get the hogs, get the hogs. I don't know, they came down at some point, or maybe that was a different game. You should hear him and I when we play. We're just best buddies. No, we get along really great. It's just funny when we're playing. So I actually did exactly that. I was like, yeah, okay, cool, Temple First Brute. Now I want to have Grenadier as fast as possible because we're pushing. It's 2-on-1. We've created this situation like we always want to do. We want to create these 2-on-1s. And he's going to be forced to D-bomb, but then I'm going to get Grenadier. So I could just push him out of his own D-bomb, which is exactly what we want. Unfortunately, I have some dead hogs here. Not exactly dead, but they're pretty dead. So he's not built a single thing on this base. It's just, supply pads. And so that's just going to mean for us that, well, we can sit over here, and it's not like we're denying depots or anything. He's not close to depots. He's still building these hogs because he's trying to fight us off. But the thing is, if he keeps building these hogs, then especially since I went for this faster Grenadier, I'm going to get my Grenadier much faster, and he's going to lose the base before his Grenadier finishes. So then it's going to be 2 bases to 1 base. Well, my 2 bases to his 1 base, and I'll have Grenadier. He might get it a bit later, but it'll be 2-on-1, and even if he does try to switch to tanks, a double base of hogs versus his single base of tanks, and I could just switch to tanks, and it'll be 2 bases of tanks versus his 1. And I like that. I like that a lot. So basically, he threw a D-bomb, but I just went to go chase him out of his own D-bomb, and my Arbiter just easily walks out of it, and we're just going to go to the other side of the base. So I'm just ignoring the hogs because I don't really want to fight them. I can poke at them to say, like, get away from my Arbiter, but I don't want to fight. I don't have to fight. What I want to happen is I don't want to just trade hogs with him. I want my Arbiter just to kill all the hogs, because then I'll have all my hogs. So I'm just gonna sit right by my Arbiter, and it's like, oh hey, he's coming, go get him.
This is my favorite part, right here.